Muar, a royal town in Johor Darul Takzim, got its name from the word Muara, which indicates the wide open estuary due to its location at the beautiful scenic riverfront. This town is filled with many preserved colonial buildings, harmonic culture diversity, and delicious authentic foods. Muar history as traders' transit place had begun even before the Malacca Sultanate era. Native Muar residents had discovered Jalan Penarikan, which became the shortcut route for Muslim Arab traders to shorten the travelling time from Malacca to South China Sea, which was through Muar River. It is also believed to be the escape route of Sultan Mahmud Shah, the last Sultan of Malacca during the invasion of Portuguese in 1511. In 1887, Bandar Maharani, or town of the Empress, was officially opened by Maharaja Abu Bakar. It was named after the then Maharaja's wife, Maharani Fatimah, and was declared as the center of administration for Muar district. Sultan Abu Bakar was also known as the father of modern Johor due to his successful strategic planning in developing Johor. During his reign, Sultan Abu Bakar had managed to strengthen political diplomatic affairs with Bugis, especially Raja Ali Haji, Ottoman Empire in Turkey, and Queen Victoria in England. His visit to London in 1866 had inspired him to develop Muar according to the British approach.
Jadi Sultan Ibrahim bila dia pergi ke luar negara, bila dia pergi sana dia melihat begitu indahlah pemandangan di Sungai Thames kan, London dengan bangunannya yang cantik kan. Jadi baginda Sultan bercita-cita lah untuk membuat suatu bangunan yang hampir serupa dengan bagaimana yang dia lihat lah di sana. Jadi dia telah bawa hadiah ni balik ke Johor dan dia mencarilah mana satu daerah yang berada berhampiran cantik di tepi sungai dan dia pilih daerah Muar.
Thus, he appointed Datuk Bentara Luar Muhammad Saleh bin Perang to undertake the general planning of the town by applying the grid system following the axis of the river. Ever since, Bandar Maharani had grown rapidly. Ferry services became the main transportation for Muar River and served the people until 1967 before the completion of Sultan Ismail Bridge. Administration building and shop houses with extensive colonial architecture and influence were built to cater for the growing needs of Muar people. The strategic location of Muar has made fishing become a major source of economy, especially for the people living beyond the town center. Apart from food, Muar town demonstrates the harmonic living among the Malay, Chinese and Indian, with diverse cultural beliefs and tradition. In the meantime, Islam continues to flourish as the main religion of the place. Two main mosques in Johor Bahru, Masjid Sultan Abu Bakar and Masjid Pasir Pelangi, represent Sultan Abu Bakar's effort in uplifting Islam. His descendant, Sultan Ibrahim, had the same desire to continue the legacy built by his father. With both mosques as inspiration, the concept for a new grand mosque in the heavily developed town of Muar was born. Masjid Jami' Sultan Ibrahim. The capital mosque is located at Jalan Petri, close to the mouth of Muar River. It is the main mosque of Muar, which attracts thousands of visitors and worshippers. The first Masjid Jami' Muar was completed in 1887. It was a timber mosque with the capacity of 40 to 50 people at one time. The mosque construction began in 1925 and completed in 1930. It is launched by Tengku Ismail, the then Crown Prince of Johor and Johor Chief Minister Datuk Mustafa bin Jaafar. The construction was led by Major Al-Hajj Muhammad Said bin Haji Sulaiman and drawn by Sulaiman bin Haji alias the Johor artist. Upon arrival, visitors will be greeted with two entrances located at both sides of the mosque. The south entrance is considered as the main entrance, as it is normally used as the entrance for the Sultan. There are other secondary entrances surrounding the central praying hall of the mosque. It is usually used by female visitors, and this design approach reflects the principle of a traditional Malay house design. The longitudinal and symmetrical spatial layout of the mosque reflects the Victorian and church design influence. At the same time, the building was orientated directly towards the Qiblah direction in Mecca to symbolize the Islamic principle. Whilst the similarity of floor plan layout ensembles the church layout, the main function remains the Muslim praying space to worship the one and only God. Some renovation works were done during the 1970s, adding toilets to the right side of the ablution area. This caused the building layout to lose its originally perfect symmetrical planning. The mosque underwent another major addition, with the extension of a new administration building at the back of the mosque. It was completed in 1984. Significantly, the orientation of the mosque to face the Qiblah direction in Mecca is also parallel to Muar River, hence making it a prominent structure along the waterfront of Muar. Basically, its spatial layout was similar to Masjid Sultan Abu Bakar. The only difference can be seen from the addition of two symmetrical rooms at the corner of the main praying hall, function as a meeting room and the administration room. The location of the dome, minaret, and the mimbar of the mosque are situated in parallel along the same axis. The dome in Masjid Sultan Ibrahim replaces the mihrab as the essential design element of a typical mosque. Its interestingly unique presence in scale and proportion accentuates the European dominance with some touches of the Middle East architecture. The dome depicts a special chamber for important leader within the mosque. Mihrab indicates the Qibla, the direction of Kaabah. It is normally situated in front of a mosque. Unlike any other mosque, this mihrab is not a semicircular niche, but a fully enclosed circular chamber with heavily decorated Victorian and Islamic ornaments. The hierarchy of the space is reserved for the Sultan when he visited the mosque. The sheer volume and lighting of the chamber give a special ambiance to the space. The chamber was named Az-Zakirin, an Arabic name which means the one who remembering Allah.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
The minaret is located along the same axis as the dome chamber. Its design is composed with a blend of the European and Eastern architecture. With an estimated height of 27 meters from the ground, the brick masonry tower manifests the embodiment of Victorian architectural absorption in an essentially a cylindrical shaped minaret. The cast iron spiral staircase at the heart of the tower connects the first floor to third floor. The minaret clearly depicts the Victorian style characteristic. For example, in the Palladian windows, double-story square balcony with a series of concrete balustrades and pointed finials, classical columns, and ornaments. The bell-shaped dome with pointed finial complete the Victorian identity. It is undoubtedly the landmark for the mosque and Muar town as a whole. Perhaps the most elaborate furniture in the main praying hall is the mimbar. Mimbar is the pulpit inside the mosque where the imam shall stand to deliver sermons or khutbah to the congregation. The tulip floral motif and the star and crescent symbol, which stands out among other patterns, originate from the Ottoman Empire. This gives indication of a strong relationship between both Johor government and the Ben Yazid ruler. The mosque design clearly demonstrates the adoption of church architecture in its design. For instance, the symmetrical floor plan layout and the dome chamber, which is similar to an apse within a church. The main prayer hall is a vast hall with a large span. It does not have clear partitions separating men and women, as it was fundamentally following the nave of the church. The priest would normally deliver sermons at the center of the front building, and this is exactly where the mimbar of this mosque is located. The British architect was actually trying to imitate their religious building into others, and this is what had happened in the design of Masjid Sultan Ibrahim. Located at the center of the mosque, the main prayer hall functions as the main area for congregational prayer. The area is separated into two sections, male and female praying area, with 2/3 of the space is for the male users. The area could hold up to a capacity of 5,000 people at a time. Illuminating the main prayer hall is a classical Victorian-style chandelier with fine detailings. Accompany the chandelier is 6 other smaller lamps with similar styles. The materials for flooring inside the prayer hall and the surrounding corridor are imported from Europe. This offers a sense of luxury and elegance to the mosque. At present, carpet is used in the main prayer hall with the motifs of gambir and pepper, which represents the main agriculture of Johor. The triple volume scale for the main prayer hall makes the space to become the hierarchy of all the other spaces. The grandeur of the scale intimidates people to humble themselves and become submissive to the greatness of the Almighty. The windows functions as the main source of daylight and ventilation. The orientation of the mosque to the west had let the evening sunlight to penetrate into the building. The designer took advantage of this to install yellow tinted glass for the window, making the interior space, especially in front of the mosque, to enhance sacred ambience at the main prayer hall. Top-hung windows were installed at the side of the hall. In the old times, this mosque had attempted to maximize the natural ventilation throughout the building. Due to this matter, the top-hung windows played the role in releasing hot air out of the building. The windows were opened during daytime using anchors, which helped the people to operate them from the ground floor. The mosque was originally raised on stilts and possessed elevated airwells surrounding the building, purposely for passive ventilation. However, further renovation had diminished the airwell. The location and the actual size of it is yet to be known. One vital feature in mosque architecture is the ablution area. In the past, a huge well was located at the east side of the mosque, which supplied water for the building as well as for ablution.
Kolah tu tak rupa macam tu. Dulu kolah tu telah berubah banyak bentuk lah. Bulat lah. Maknanya dulu air kolah tu memang macam gigi lah kat rumah. Gigi kampung kan. Jadi kalau air pasang sungai, air kolah tu naik. Ini kita dah simenkan kan.
With the approximate depth of 3 meters, the water will be collected from rainwater which directly enter the well and from the piping system that was installed within it. Now, the depth of the well had been reduced for safety precautions and formality. The area had been furnished with tiles and the piping has been upgraded to facilitate the mosque user. A water fountain was added at the center of the well, making the area more lively. The envelope of Masjid Sultan Ibrahim consists of load-bearing walls. The system was constructed using clay bricks and was arranged using English bond. 2 distinctive types of columns applied in this building are Tuscan and Ionic. The application of Ionic columns can be seen in the main prayer hall, the entrance porches, and the minaret. What is unique about the capital of each column is the addition of moon and crescent, which represents the Islamic identity. Tuscan style column, which is an improvised male version of the column, appeared at the ablution fountain area and the entrance porch. These columns were widely used in Victorian architecture. The roof is an adaptation of the traditional Malay architecture, which is the 5-ridge roof or bumbung limas perabung lima. To complete the roof features, the design elements called pucuk rebung was used for the fascia board surrounded the bottom of the roof. It was initially made of cast iron before it was changed to timber. However, the original material for it still exists at some parts of the roof. Copper was massively used in some design elements of the mosque. Due to its shining exposed reddish-orange color, copper was used as the main material for the door hinge, lamps, and railings at the entrance stairs. The proclamation board that marked the opening of this mosque by Sultan Ismail were also written on copper. However, due to its high maintenance costs, some of them had to be repainted, and this fades the original looks of the item. During the lifetime of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, mosque was a place for prayer as well as the center of political and social activities. Historically, any religious classes started to bloom after the completion of a mosque, and it continued to flourish until now. Among the scholars born out of this institution are Tuan Guru Haji Muhammad Yasin Muhammad, Kiai Haji Ahmad Shah Jabar, and Kiai Haji Fadil Al-Bentani. Masjid Sultan Ibrahim, from its inception, has never failed to impress its visitors, both locals and tourists. The mosque is a product of a visionary leader with a clever administrative system. The manifest Victorian architectural quality, with touches of local traditional Malay features and Islamic design elements of the mosque, not only denotes the embodiment of a unique historical heirloom, but also symbolizes the religion's supremacy beyond the harmonious culture diversity of Muar's community. With appropriate care and preservation efforts, it is hoped that the mosque will continue to represent the Royal Sultanate integrity and stand as the landmark and architectural identity for Muar, the royal town of Johor Darul Takzim.